Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. So with the holiday season coming up, I thought that I would dedicate today's episode about making the most of your time off. Now, I know that not everybody gets time off at the holidays, but most of us will get at least a day or two here and there to have some time to celebrate with our families. And I hope that wherever you're listening, you do get some time to yourself for the holidays. And if you do, I want to talk to you about making the most of your time. So every year, I always have this plan that during the holiday break, I'm going to spend some time relaxing. I'm going to make the most of it. And I said that at Thanksgiving too. I said, you know what, I'm going to relax. I'm going to make the most of my time. And I ended up not really doing that. I ended up doing a lot of extra work around, it was fine. But I always have this plan, I'm going to have some time to myself. And what I realized was I don't actually go in with a plan, and that's where things go awry. I just have this idea that I want to spend some time for myself, but then it never ends up happening because I don't actually plan the time to spend to myself. I go in with just this idea that this is what's going to happen. And everyone knows what happens with, the best laid plans, right? They often go awry, and usually it does. So I figured that this year, one way for me to really enjoy the time was to actually plan it out, not to go in and just be like, whatever happens. And that's not to say that you can't be flexible with your plans, but usually I don't even go in with a plan. I'm just thinking to myself, okay, we're just going to have an awesome holiday and this is how it's going to go. And then it doesn't go that way. So this year, I'm doing things a little differently. I always have everyone over to my house at Christmas Eve. But usually I'll say, okay, well, you just bring this, you bring that, it'll be whatever. And I'm not doing that this year. This year we have plans. My daughter wanted all of the kids to be in matching pajamas. And of course, as always, with the best laid plans, that goes a little awry because we ordered them all at the same time online, and 2 pairs are not coming now until December 30th. But we were not about to let that stop our Christmas fun. So we went out and bought 2 different pairs of pajamas. So 2 of the kids will not quite be matching, but it still should be, a lot of fun. And we're planning on taking a silly family photo, which I'm looking forward to. I always make ice cream punch for the kids. So I got all the stuff to do that, and we're just having appetizers. But I think I'm going to plan this year for us to actually play games. Because usually they come over and we just talk and the kids visit, and it's fine, it's fine, but it's not structured or anything. We don't really have a lot. Some people, they have this white elephant thing. They have a whole thing that they do, and that's fine. We're not really those kinds of people, and if you are, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just never how we've done parties. Parties are always just come over, visit, and there's not really anything that we do, just talk and visit, which is fine. But I thought it would be fun this year to play games with the kids. And, it's the last year they're going to be here until they go to college. And I'm sure they'll be home, even when they go to college. But I don't think that you should ever try, take one moment for granted. I think that you need to enjoy everything. And I'm learning that more and more. I think there was a lot of times in my life where I just kind of phoned things in, and I'll be the first person to admit that because I was so tired and overwhelmed, and I don't want to do that anymore. I really want to enjoy life. So I figured that we could play a game with them, and then I recorded some Christmas movies that we can all sit around and watch. We always love Rudolph, of course, so we have to watch that. So I have this whole thing planned. And I also plan to take my niece and daughter shopping Monday, and we have a whole list of things we're going to do. So normally I would just be like, well, I'm just going to see whatever comes up. And I'm not doing that this time. I know that if I want to have some planned time to myself, I have to plan it. I have to actually fit it into my schedule. And if you're like me, even if you have some time off, you don't necessarily have time off. Because I always have people who are like, let's do this, let's do that. I have former coworkers who want to get together and current coworkers who want to get together, and which is great. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, you have to really plan your time off. And I want to do that. Like, I want to go schedule a massage. I already have like a hair appointment scheduled for myself. I'm going to take some time to really sit down and write out my intentions for the new year and make some goals. And I've been working out more thanks to Jay, who keeps telling me I need to do it. And we have a big joke about me manifesting a 6-pack for Christmas. It's hilarious. But I am working out more, and I found, workouts that I really like, and that motivates me to do that more. And so I'm really trying to work on myself and do the things that I want to do so that I can be the person I want to be for the new year. And there's just a lot of stuff going on. So I wanted to talk to you today about making sure that you schedule some time for yourself to do whatever it is you want to do. Now, I always think with the new year coming up that it's great to get yourself ready for the new year. And I think one of the things that I'm going to do is I think that I'm going to have a live on Facebook the week before New Year's. And I'm going to do a big energy clearing for everyone. And you can join me, and I'll let you know when it's going to be. And we can join live, and we're going to burn all of the things that we want to see gone for 2019, going into 2020. And we're going to write our manifestations, what we want to see going into 2020. So I have a idea for what I want to do. I've got to sit down and work on it, but I want to do that for you all the week of New Year's, like I said, probably either the 30th or the 31st. And I'll probably do it the 30th because I know New Year's Eve people are pretty busy with family and that. But that's one of the things for me, is taking time to look at what I don't want to see continuing, the patterns of behavior I don't want to see continuing into 2020, and getting rid of those, and welcoming things I do want to see into 2020. And I'm a big person, a proponent, I should say, of visualizing what I do want. And I spend a lot of time doing that. And I can't tell you how many times that I've sat down and visualized things coming in, and then they did. My son, we've talked about before how he's really struggled, and we sat down and talked about his grades, and I know he tried and he studied, and I just said, okay, I visualize him coming back with all these good grades. And do you know that kid got A's on all of his finals, and I was so super proud of him. But I'm a big, big believer in visualizing what you want to see. And it doesn't matter how impossible you think it is. And I'm not kidding. We have so much unlimited power within us. If we just really knew how to tap into that, we do. We have that power. And it's just visualizing that it's happening. And, those of you who have listened to my podcast for a while, I've been working on a book. Well, the publisher just sent me the book in Kindle form to do like one last edit through it. And so it's becoming more and more real. And this is something that I visualize, that this book is going to help so many people. And it's becoming a dream. It was a dream that's becoming a reality for me. And it's something that I visualized for so long. And I love it. And I don't think anything is out of your reach. And I don't think anything is impossible. It's all about learning how to really manifest. And I love that. And I'm even enrolled in a new course on manifesting coming up for the new year, because even though I teach all of these things, I'm a big, big believer too that you have to continuously educate yourself too. So I have mentors and I have people who help me, because that's only going to help me help you more. And I love that. And I'm excited about this new course coming up. I'm excited about what the new year is coming up, what it's going to hold, because I really believe it's going to be such an awesome year for so many people. I think 2020 is going to be a year where you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, that was an awesome year. Because what I know is 2019 was a year where so many people look back and went, ugh, Oh my gosh, that was rough. And that's not a coincidence that you felt that way. Okay, it was the last year of a decade. Every 10 years closes out a new cycle. Tens are all about closing new cycles and beginning new cycles. So for many of us, 2019 was about closing up cycles and patterns of behaviors. It was about learning the lessons that we don't want to take into the new cycle. So that means that you had a lot to learn, and I had a lot to learn. And so it was a really rough year. It was a rough year for a lot of people. If you just look on Facebook and see what people were posting, it was like a car drove over them or something. It was just such a rough year. And that was true for a lot of people. But it is totally understandable why it was a rough year, because again, it is the 19th. It is that year before that new cycle ends, that 10-year cycle. And so this reminds me too of in Germany, in a little town called Oberammergau, which is a really pretty little town in Bavaria. They were spared of the plague, and I believe it was like 1633. So in order to give thanks for being spared of that plague, they put on this passion play, and they do it every 10 years. And like the whole town sacrifices to put on this play. The men grow out their beards and their mustaches, and the whole town takes part in it. And the play takes 5 hours a day to put on. And it's just such a incredible production. And it's every 10 years. And it makes me think of that too. It's like you have to go through all of this to close out that 10-year cycle, just like the whole town gets ready for this play. Like we had to really get ourselves ready and get everything prepared to go into 2020, because we don't want to take that old garbage with us. We really don't. We want to be ready for 2020. So that's why I think the next few days are so important for you at this holiday season. You want to enjoy it and also take time to get yourself ready for going into the new year. So I don't know what that means to you. It might be different for every person. For me, taking time to myself would mean meditating, doing some intention setting, looking at my vision board some more. I have little rituals that I like to do. Like I take all of those patterns of behavior that I saw for 2019, all the things I want to get rid of. I write it down, and I write it down first, and then I rewrite what I want to see for 2020. And then I take those old patterns of behavior that I don't want to see in 2019, and I burn them. And I just, it's like, okay, these patterns of behavior served me for a while. They no longer serve me. I'm blessing them and getting rid of them. And I'm welcoming these new patterns of behavior for 2020 and the things that I want to see. And so when I do the energy clearing, that's probably what we're going to be doing. I know I did this. I think I did it last year, but I love this. It's such a great thing to really set the tone for the new year. And as I said, I really do believe 2020 is going to be an awesome year for so many people. And I know that it's going to be an awesome year for me, and I can just feel it. The energy is amazing. So I hope that you guys are feeling it too, and you're getting excited and ready to let 2019 go, because I know I am. I'm ready to see what happens. It's going to be the year my kids graduate and they're going off to college. And even though that's, can be kind of a melancholy, sad thing, I'm excited for them, because I remember how exciting it was for me. And I know that they're both really excited about what they want to do in their future. And I can see that in them, and they're really both motivated to do well. And I love that. And I think it's awesome that they want to get out there and to experience life. And I'm behind them 100%. So I can't wait to see what they do with themselves. And I can't wait to see what my next chapters hold. I know it's going to be very different for me. I think there's a lot of things coming down the road for me that are going to be super exciting. So I can't wait. So I know that many of you also have a lot of exciting things going on. In just the coaching sessions I've done with people, You guys have some amazing things, amazing ideas, things that you want to do and to see happening in your lives. And I just know that it's going to happen for all of you. And it's exciting to watch that for other people as well. So if you're sitting there listening to this and you think, oh, my life is just ho-hum, it's just average, it's just ordinary, it's not supposed to be that way. And we absolutely have the power to change that. And I love that, because the thing that I think is so amazing about the human experience is that we can change our lives at any point in time. Our lives can change and be totally different from one day to the next. And I love that. I think it's amazing. And I hope that you guys are seeing so many miracles and blessings in your life. I know I have seen so many in mine. So take the time this holiday season to reflect on everything that you've been blessed with and to actively get rid of the behaviors and the cycles that you don't want to see anymore in your life, and set intentions for what you do want to see in your life. And take some time just to relax and rejuvenate and to really nourish yourself, mind, body, and spirit, because you deserve to be relaxed. You deserve a break. You deserve rest. We just go at life at a speed of like 200 miles an hour, and we barely have time to blink sometimes. It's time to slow down and really enjoy this time that you have. No matter how you choose to spend it, enjoy it, because time is a gift that we don't always have in this world, On the other side, time doesn't really exist. It's just a thing that we have here on earth, and we are so limited by time. I was just thinking that yesterday, my cousin came into town, and we grew up like sisters. My sister and my cousin and I. She lived next door to my sister and I. Well, her mom and stepmom and dad lived next door to us. And she would come down for about a month in the summer. And she would come down a few times a year. So every time she came down to see her dad, the three of us were like the Three Musketeers. We were just glued together. We were the best of friends. Now, we fought sometimes, but we were always together, took vacations together. And as grown-ups, we don't get to see each other as much. She can't come for a month at a time now. She has her own family. So she came for one night, and we went and visited with her. And every time we get to visit, I just always think there's not enough time. Like, time goes by way too fast. It feels like we've only visited for a half an hour, even when it's been 6 or 7 hours, and she's got to go back, and it just doesn't seem like enough time. So time is something that you need to treasure and value, the time you have with your loved ones, the time you have just being able to relax and spend it however you want. So one of the things that I'm going to do too is over the holidays, I'm not going to do a podcast for the rest of the week because I'm going to take some time off. But I will do a podcast, starting next week. I will do a podcast. I'm probably take a couple of days the next week off. But, I know some people still work, and I know how it is. When I had my hour drive, if there was no podcast, I would say, oh no, there's no podcast. But I'm going to try to, do a few for next week. But I also know the value of taking time off. And I want to take a little time to myself, and I will be doing the Facebook Live and then doing the energy clearing maybe the next Monday. But I want to enjoy time with my family and enjoy time doing things that I want to do to make sure that 2020, and when I start back to school, I am refreshed and ready to take on the world again. When we get to the end of the year, it's like our batteries are drained, and we need to take that time to really recharge those batteries and to be the very best that we can be. And you can't be that if your cup is half empty. So it's time for you to refill that cup and take the time out for yourself. And, some of the ways you can do that, get together with friends and family and laugh and have a good time. If you're in an area where you can go out in nature, go out in nature. It's cold here, but yesterday was actually quite a lovely day. It was in the upper 40s, almost 50, and it was sunny. So we went to a farmer's market here, and then we walked around outside in a little neighborhood in Kirkwood. We went to Global Foods to get some international foods for Christmas Eve, and it was so much fun. We had such a fun day. It was my mom, my brother, my daughter, and I, and we laughed and laughed the whole day. And it was beautiful walking around outside, and there were Christmas decorations everywhere. It was lovely. So do things like that, plan time spent outside with your loved ones doing fun things. We're actually very lucky in that we have a lot of things going on in this area. There's a new aquarium opening, and I can't wait to go and see that. So there's a lot of things I plan to do with my family around the holidays. So spend some time doing something that really makes you feel good, whatever that is for you. Go get a massage or a facial, or go get a makeover. Sometimes when you get a new hairstyle, like for me, maybe not for men so much, but I know for me, like when I change my hairstyle, sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. But do whatever it is that makes you feel good. I know that one of the things, too, that really, really makes me feel good is to read an uplifting book or two and to listen to some uplifting messages. I love the fact that I can get on YouTube at any time and I can just look for some positive mantras, or I like listening to Abraham Hicks and to those messages, too, and I think it's awesome that they're there and they're at your fingertips. You can just go and listen to them and make your day brighter. I love that. And I would encourage you to do whatever you need to do to fill that cup, whether it is your spiritual cup, your emotional cup, or your physical cup. Do what you need to do to make yourself feel better. And do not feel guilty for telling people no when you need to take care of yourselves. I know around the holidays, especially, people will ask you to go to 50,000 different events, come do this, go do that, go do that. It's okay to say no sometimes. It really is. So be picky with your time. There's nothing wrong with that. But most importantly, just enjoy the time that you have. Whatever amount you have, just enjoy it. And I pray that you will have a blessed holiday with lots of good times, laughter, good food, good fun, and beautiful memories that are being made. And remember, and I love this, I heard Gabby Bernstein say this, wherever you go, if you say this mantra, I bring the light with me wherever I go. Sometimes we have to go see relatives that might be toxic. Maybe we don't want to be around them, or maybe people we just don't want to be around. It happens around the holidays. Just remember that you bring the light with you wherever you go, which means no negative energy can penetrate that light. You are the light. So don't allow anyone or anything to ruin your holidays or to make you feel bad. They don't have the power to do that. Only you have the power to allow someone else to rob you of your personal peace. So don't let them do that. Remember, you can always clear your energy before you leave, before you go, and when you leave, just to make sure that you are not carrying any of that toxicity with you. Just imagine a light coming down that clears your entire space. And if you need to, there are energy clearing meditations on this website, on my podcast, on my website. You can just do a YouTube search. They're very quick, easy meditations you can do. And it's a guarantee that you will not bring that negativity, because when you're around someone who's really negative, it can be easy for that energy to rub off on you and for you to then be really crabby. Don't allow people to do that to you. This is a time for you to be joyful. And that is your word, joyful. You are only going to be joyful this holiday season. So remember that you bring the light with you wherever you go. You are joyful. And you're not going to let anyone else take that from you. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for listening to me. And I wanted to pull a card for you before I ended this podcast. So I pulled a card from The Universe Has Your Back. And the card I pulled is I Choose to Learn Through Love. And I love that. What I think that that is telling us is whatever situation we come across, if we were to look at that from love, not from a place of fear, but a place of love, we would react to things much differently. When we realize that every single person who is around us are battling things that we don't even know about, we choose kindness because we know that no matter what, there's probably something that we don't see about that person. And when we choose to love that person, in spite of how they may be reacting to us or how they may appear, that is when we truly, truly are powerful, because it's all about love, guys. It's all about love. We're here to learn how to love people, and some people are really difficult to love. They're like prickly little porcupines, right? We try to go in to love them, and those pointed, I don't even know what you call them on a porcupine, but you know what I'm saying. They prick you because it's like they guard themselves so tightly with those, you can't even get in close to them. And that's unfortunate. But the only thing that's going to cause them not to stick you when you're around them is just to be patient with them and to show them love, not anger, not whatever. We can react the same way they react to us, but that doesn't solve anything and it doesn't make the situation better. It usually ends up worse. And that's not saying that you have to let someone take advantage of you, but it's just saying maybe exercise a little patience with people who have been hurt or who don't react to things the way that we would want them to. When you show some patience, and sometimes patience is just backing away and giving someone space, then you are showing true love. And I love that message because, that's what it's all about, guys. It's what it's all about. Well, I hope that you guys will have a beautiful holiday, and I will talk to you again after the holiday. In the meantime, if you need anything from me, I will still be doing sessions here and there throughout the holidays. So if you'd like to book a session with me, you can go to my website, melissaoatman.com, and check out what I offer. And all of the pricing is listed there as well. And then if you want to book, you can simply email me, or you can text me or call me or message me on social media. However you choose to get a hold of me is perfect. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I go live on Facebook at 5:30 Central on Mondays. And I also post videos to Instagram, so don't forget to follow me there. And don't forget to join me for the energy clearing. There will be more information about that on my Facebook page, so keep an eye out for that. I want to thank you all for following me and for listening, as always. If you like this podcast, please share it with others. Please subscribe. Please leave reviews. That helps others to find me. I want to thank you so much for being a part of my tribe. I love you all. I'm wishing you all a very happy and blessed holiday, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.